Earth itself is an integrated system with millions of factors working together to make life possible. But there are intricacies and phenomena that occur in this planet, and they are connected to each other. The water cycle, atmospheric phenomena, ecosystems, and geologic factors establish a sophisticated interconnection between them and our planet's features. Our topic explores how connected these systems are and how they affect each other and shape the phenomena occurring in this planet, making Earth a seemingly alive planet with all its tiny moving parts. This is Earth and Life Science Rewind, and welcome to the second episode, the four subsystems of planet Earth. Greetings, senior high school students. I am teacher Giandel Atalia, and welcome to Earth and Life Science Rewind, video reviewers for Earth and Life Science. In this video reviewer, we will recall four subsystems of planet Earth and explain what each of them cover. Also, we will cite examples of the interactions between two or more subsystems in our planet. Through the lens of Earth and Life Science, we view planet Earth as an entity composed of many systems working together and affecting each other. Think of it as a computer, wherein all of its parts, hardware, work together to give you a smooth gaming or studying experience. Like the computer, Earth is made up of many parts and systems. And with them being interconnected, any change in these systems create a change in another, making a complex, dynamic system. Example would volcanism and human activities such as industrialization affect the atmosphere and bodies of water. It might seem far-fetched that the bodies of water and the atmosphere are completely affected at first, but changes in this planet are slow but steady, with their effects being felt after years or even decades. The same can be said about the water cycle. The water cycle is a phenomenon affected by the changes in both atmosphere and the water bodies. Believe it or not, biological aspects of this planet affect the water cycle as well. Again, everything in this planet is interconnected. Effects are not felt instantly. But how do we characterize Earth anyway as a system? Are we an isolated system wherein our materials, our gas, liquid, and solid components cannot go in or out, and energy cannot be transferred as well? Are we a closed system wherein our materials cannot go in or out, but energy can? Or are we an open system wherein everything can go in or out of our planet as well as the energy? The answer is closed system. Materials cannot be exchanged or rarely exchanged, but energy can be transferred. Closed systems exchange energy, but not matter within outside system. The Earth is essentially a closed system again, and it obtains and reflects lots of energy from the sun. Not only it absorbs, it also reflects it. So there is a dynamic between the sun and the Earth when it comes to energy transfer. Remember that the exchange of matter within a closed system is almost zero. Here are the four subsystems of planet Earth. The hydrosphere, which contains all bodies of water, moisture, and anything about water. Atmosphere, which regards to the gases and the layers of gaseous compounds. Geosphere, which contains all solid rocks and minerals, has something to do with geologic, volcanic processes. Biosphere, which covers the totality of all ecosystems. All living organisms are part of the biosphere. Let us begin with the geosphere. It comprises the solid Earth and includes both Earth's surface and various layers of the Earth's interior. Not only the crust, but also below the crust, which is the asthenosphere, is part of the geosphere. Geosphere includes the solid rocks, minerals, volcanism, geologic processes, and even mountain formation and earthquakes. Everything that has something to do with the rocks and the Earth's crust, that is part of the geosphere. The atmosphere is a subsystem covering all the gases and the air of our planet. It is a gaseous envelope that surrounds the Earth and constitutes the transition between our planet and the outer space. Gaseous compounds, elements, and even water vapor are parts of the atmosphere. The atmosphere consists of the layers that divide it, with troposphere being the heaviest and the lowest, and where weather disturbances occur. Storms and rain happen in the troposphere. Stratosphere is where the ozone layer is, and that's actually the highest any aircraft can go. Jet planes can go the highest in the stratosphere. Mesosphere is a cold area wherein meteorites burn. Thermosphere is characterized by its temperature fluctuations, and it absorbs deadly radiation. The aurora borealis and aurora australis actually happen in this part of the atmosphere. The space station is also docked in this part. And last but not the least, exosphere with a very few molecules, and it's almost the outer space actually, exosphere. Next is the hydrosphere, where from the word itself includes all the water in this planet. Here we can see that the hydrosphere is majority salt water, with fresh water being only 3% within it, and only 1% within the fresh water is accessible and potable. Potable means you can drink it. You should also remember that fresh water is mostly on the polar ice caps, or if not in the polar ice caps, groundwater stored underground. Knowing this should concern and encourage students to at least conserve water and push for rehabilitation of rivers, lakes, environment as a whole. Part of the hydrosphere is the water cycle. The water cycle is actually just the hydrosphere in action, the hydrosphere moving, and shows how water is transported within different phases: liquid, solid, and gas. The last and the only unique subsystem on our planet Earth is the biosphere. Biosphere is the life zone of the Earth, and it includes all life forms, all living organisms, all their ecosystems, and organic matter that has not yet been decomposed. It is also important to note that within the biosphere lies not only life forms but abiotic factors. What are abiotic factors? These are necessary components for life: habitat, sunlight, temperature, humidity, water, etc. Remember that the biosphere is the only unique subsystem available to Earth. As I have mentioned earlier, all of these subsystems are interconnected. Any change in these systems creates a change in another, making it a very dynamic and complex system. Major phenomena you can observe within this planet are shaped by the interactions within these spheres. Atmosphere, geosphere, hydrosphere, and biosphere affect each other, and they shape other phenomena as well. Example of an interaction is the hurricane. Hurricane can be classified as an atmospheric disturbance, so it's part of the atmosphere, the subsystem. But it can also affect the oceans, the hydrosphere. And when it lands, it can also destroy vegetation and other landforms as well. So it affects the geosphere. So hurricanes also damage the dwellings of people and life forms. So when it comes to hurricanes, it's a change in the atmosphere affecting the other three subsystems. Another phenomena would be a volcanic eruption. Volcanic eruptions are geologic in nature, so they are part of the geosphere. But sending ash and gases into the air by the release of these volcanoes affects the atmosphere. Also, the lava, ash, and pyroclastic materials can destroy forests and cause the death of animals and other life forms. So it affects the biosphere. Not only that, it affects the habitat and the ecosystems as well in the larger scale. So you can write this as geosphere affecting atmosphere and biosphere. So let us summarize again the four subsystems of planet Earth. With the hydrosphere containing all the water in this planet, atmosphere, all the gases and gaseous compound, geosphere, which has all the solid rocks and minerals and even the geologic processes, biosphere, which contains all living organisms, and not only that, the abiotic factors and the ecosystems as well. We can simplify this lesson into this concept map courtesy of the Department of Education, and this summarizes everything I have discussed in this video, except for the interactions and changes among subsystems. Before we close this discussion, I would like to leave a quote from Albert Einstein. Look deep into nature and then you will understand everything better. Studying the subsystems and their interactions allow us to understand how the world works, giving us profound wisdom in our dealings with life. Changes are slow but always are steady. Let us test your knowledge. Please pause this video and try to answer these 7 questions on on a piece of paper. Once you are done answering, please resume the video and let us check your answers in the 7-item quiz. Video resumes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here are the answers on the 7-item quiz. Now, thank you for watching this video reviewer, and I hope you have refreshed your lessons on this episode, the 4 subsystems of planet Earth. I am teacher Giandel Atalia, and see you next time on the next Earth and Life Science Rewind. Video reviewers for Earth and Life Science.